We'll start off with the text appearance buttons. The first button is for header level 2. This designates a line of text as a section header for the article. So if you select a line, or at least place your mouse on a line of text and then hit that button, that text will become that header level. The next button is for header level 3. This header is a subsection of header level 2. It's a different format for the text, and it's basically just a subdivision of header. It basically works the same way as header level 2, it's just smaller. The next 4 buttons affect the font of the text that's selected. You can choose from bold, italicize, underline, and strike through. To make a text for one of those, you select the text and hit the button, and then you can undo it the same way. The button indicates whether or not it's already selected for that text or not. It should appear yellow. If it's not selected, then it should be a normal button. This button is for pre-formatted text. Now, there's no real need for this button in this kind of Wikia. You generally would use this for like a programming language or some piece of text that has to be put in a specific format. It will appear as text surrounded by a basically dotted square. You might see this happen a few times in your articles. I'm not sure why, but it's some kind of glitch that causes it to occur sometimes in a posting. If it does happen, you can get rid of it by the button next to it, the big N button. That removes a header, and the pre-formatted text is a header. So by selecting it, you can remove the pre-formatted text heading from the text. But you will have to make sure that it doesn't revert back to it when you save, so you'll have to edit it so that it doesn't become pre-formatted. I'm not sure what it takes to become pre-formatted automatically, it just happens. If you find a pattern, please let me know. The last 2 buttons are for indenting and unindenting the line of text. You probably won't use this very much. You might use it for quotes. You will use it later on in the list and links section. It's pretty useful there. But other than that, that's pretty much all you're going to use it for. Next, we'll talk about the list and the link buttons. The first button is for creating a bullet list. Now, a bullet list is basically just a list in which every item is headed by a bullet or a dark dot. So I'm going to show you here. I'll start a list, click, and I put in an element, and there you see you get the dot there, and then I go down the next line and I got another dot, and I can keep doing this and keep going on. And then I can also use the indents on the text editing section to indent the dots for the list. And then I can unindent it and go back to normal. The next button is for a numbered list. It's basically the same thing as a bullet list, except this one uses numbers instead of bullet points. Also, when you indent it, you get the numbers reset when you indent it, and then they go back to the old set when you unindent. But other than that, it's pretty much the same thing as the bullet point list. The next 2 buttons are used for links. The first one is used for creating internal and external links. An internal link is what you use to link to other articles within this Wikia. And here you go. When you hit the button, you get this pop-up menu, and you just type in the article's name, and then hit OK, and you create a link. You can also use the second line to change the text that's shown for the link, but it will still go to the same place. Okay, and now here's for external links. You have to put in the website, the full website address, and then it puts it in the same way that you get the website address printed out on the link, or you can use the bottom line to change the link text to whatever you want. Then this second button is used to remove a link from a bit of text. Now we're at the insert buttons. The first one up is add picture. When you hit this button, it pops up a window with a list of all the pictures, showing each picture, and then you choose one, and it goes to the next step of selecting the size, which side of the page you want it on, and so forth, and then once that's done, you hit done or whatever and just post it on the page. Inserting video is pretty simple, so I'm not going to explain it. You just type in the web address to the video and that's it. The last button I'm going to talk about is insert a table. You click this button and you get a window that asks for the parameters of the table. You enter in your basic parameters and then you get the table on the window. You can put in text, or I think you might be able to put in objects in there, but primarily you can put text in. And then if you right click a section or a cell, you can edit the cell's properties or delete the cell or add in new rows or columns. So it does have some useful properties, and I have seen some people use tables for info boxes because you can edit the colors of them and they're a little easier to edit than an info box is. Now we're at the template section. To get a template, you hit on this combo box here, and then the window comes down and you see all these options here. Usually the only one here that you'll probably use is the info box template. When you activate the info box template, this window should appear, and it lets you choose what you want in the info box and lets you preview what the info box will look like before you finish it. The only other thing you'd use here is the bottom element for finding other templates, like declaring an article a stub or pointing out that there's something wrong with the article, or for some of the customized info boxes like the Abridged info box or the episode info box. You can find them in here, and you can also search for them in the name list right there, and you can use them pretty much the same way you use an info box. Some of them have those pop-up windows, some will not, because some of them don't need information put into them. And that's it. There are some of you who probably knew all this stuff, or most of it, and I'm sorry that I might have wasted your time. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew how the editor works. In the next one, I'll go over the Wiki text editor, which is a little more complicated because you don't have as much built-in buttons and stuff like that as you do with this text editor. And I might also take questions if you have any on formatting or whatever. Alright, well, until then.